Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Backshot Boxing. Now, man, my boy Devin the Dream Haney with his honorable father side by side, man. They're free agents right now, man. It's a nobody right now. No one knows who Devin the Dream Haney is going to sign with. Will he re-sign with Eddie Hearn? Will he sign to Top Rank? Will he sign to the PBC? It's a who's who guessing game, right? Top Rank, they have the Vasily Lomachenko, they have Teofimo Lopez, two superstars in the sport of boxing, right? PBC have Gervonta Tank Davis, right? And I forgot about Oscar De La Hoya. They have Ryan Garcia, right? I mean, in Eddie Hearn, but the guy has a clout over there in the UK, so he can basically get you a de facto fan base, right? All that being said, man, my boy Devin the Dream Haney, no one knows where he's gonna go next, and these top fighters, man, they're biting their nails saying, please do not sign this guy. I'm not trying to fight him, because it seems as though as Devin Haney, he has to basically beg his mentors to fight him, right? Recently, I talked about a video about Jojo Diaz trying to fight Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia is Devin the Dream Haney's mandatory, but he's still not trying to fight him. He's trying to fight Ryan Garcia. Only recently, Jojo Diaz agreed to fight Devin the Dream Haney after he pressured him on the Boxing Voice, right? Which is wild. He basically has to beg fighters to fight him because he's that dangerous of a fighter, right? A lot of people say, hey man, I'd rather get embarrassed for 12 rounds than to get knocked out. But contrary to popular belief, that's actually the worst way to go out. Not get knocked out, but to actually get outboxed for 12 rounds. Because when you got knocked out, you can just say, oh, I got caught. But when you get outboxed for 12 rounds, you got beat for 36 minutes, 3 minute rounds. Times 3 times 12 is 36. You're getting beat for 36 minutes straight doing your style, and you just getting outboxed by a superior fighter. There's no way around it. So usually when that happens, when fighters get beat that bad, usually fighters, sometimes if they get beat bad enough, they will try to change their style up. They try to add things to the game that's just counterintuitive to their style, right? You'll see aggressive fighters be more defensive after they get completely outclassed. They'll try to integrate things in their game that shouldn't be there in the first place, right? Look at Adrian Broner. When he was I know he didn't get knocked out. He lost. It was a hard fight to Marcus Madonna, right? But he got beat up for 12 rounds. And now, instead of being aggressive like Adrian Broner was in his prime, he used to throw combinations and walk guys down. He was stopping guys in his prime. Now he's defensive. He's throwing, 1-2 shots. He's not really throwing combinations like he used to in his prime. That's what happens when you get beat, and you get beat bad for 12 rounds. When you get knocked out, you can just say I got caught. There's a lot of fighters that come back from being knocked out. Look at Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. Those or Dillian White versus Alexander Povetkin. Those are just bam. You got hit. You got caught. But you can say you're winning the fight. You can always make an excuse for yourself. But when you get outclassed for 12 rounds, there's not much you can really say. So in my opinion, while it sounds better to say I'd rather get knocked out than I'd rather lose the 12 round decision than to get knocked out. In reality, these fighters, they lose confidence in themselves as fighters when you get outclassed for 12 full rounds. So that all being said, man, we don't know where Devin Haney is going. He's a free agent right now, and Devin Haney was making big money under Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn is having problems with forcing these other fighters to fight Devin the Dream Haney, right? He already went to Ryan Garcia and said, man, listen, if you're not getting this Pacquiao fight, you need to fight Haney. And Ryan Garcia said, nah. He said, yeah, but at the end of the day, this guy is ducking guys like Jojo Diaz, right? And Fortuna. He's pulling out of fights. He's not even fighting those kind of guys. Top contenders, top prospect type fighters, right? He's not even fighting those guys, much as Devin Haney. Gervonta Tank Davis, Floyd Mayweather and friends, I guess you could say Al Heyman, is moving Gervonta Tank Davis in a certain way to make him a star, right? He just had a fight at 140 against Mario Barrios for the WBA regular title. So he's doing his own thing up there. He might stay there at 140. Who knows what Gervonta's doing. And Teofimo Lopez, man, he's going to be set to rematch Vasily Lomachenko. So everyone seems to be tied up right now. So if Devin Haney comes back, he might be in limbo for a while because he's going to have to basically fight these top contenders and basically fight these dangerous fighters while getting none of the respect. That's the crazy thing about boxing. If you're not deemed as the best, you be fighting these elite level fighters that no one respects. And if you happen to, lose 4 or 5 rounds, you robbed the guy. If Devin Haney fought a 12-round fight and lost 4 or 5 rounds, he was exposed. That's how boxing is. You can fight these top fighters and no one respects them. So when they do good against you, it's shocking to everyone because they don't really care about, these fighters. They care about, there are 1 or 2 guys in a division, and that's about it. But Devin Dream Haney, when he just fought a tough fight in Jorge Linares, the same guy who dropped Vasily Lomachenko with a straight right, completely outmatched him, and Devin Haney got rocked in a fight, but he didn't get dropped. He got rocked, but he didn't get dropped, right? The same guy who just dropped Lomachenko, right? But and understand that Jorge Linares just came off a 2-fight win streak, right? He just beat Al Tayagan and Carlos Morales, right? One by KO, one by UD before he fought Haney. So the idea that he was past it, nah. Plus, furthermore, obviously it was for a title, so he fought his way up. WBC title, lightweight title. So yeah, man, that being said, man, there's a big thing going around with Devin Haney being a free agent. And, Devin Haney and his father, Bill Haney, they're keeping up the culture, man. The culture of, father, son, trainer, trainer father type thing going on, where the father is training his son and they become the top of the sport. Think of Sean Porter and his father. Think of Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Sr. Roger. Think of all those guys. Those are most likely those fighters have a pretty good career. They have a solid career most of the time. Even Danny Garcia, yeah, he's not winning all his fights, but him and his father, they're doing pretty decent. I think those kind of fighters are the most dangerous fighters because their father knows what's best for them. They know their style and they change their game plan accordingly. So that being said, man, we're gonna see where Devin Haney's career goes from here, man. But it's very interesting to see where he's gonna go from next because no promotion company is gonna sign him without basically making him fight one of their top dogs for sure. So we're gonna see where Devin Haney's career goes from here. The kid's extremely young. One of the younger. He's like the youngest one actually right now out of all those guys I named. Devin Haney is extremely young. Understand that he's only 22 years old. And he's younger than Ryan Garcia. He's younger than Gervonta Tank Davis, and he's younger than Teofimo Lopez, and obviously Vasily Lomachenko. So he's the youngest of the bunch. So he has an extremely big gap of skill-wise. He can get a lot better. Anyway, let me know what you guys feel about it, though. Where you guys think Gervonta is going to go? Devin Haney is going to go from here. The sky's the limit for the kid. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace.